Infertility, miscarriage, and hope. That's what we are going to be talking about on this episode. Great Boss Podcast. We are going to be sharing about 3 things that I believe are super important. And as I mentioned in my previous video, that we are going to be talking about this real raw conversation so that we can be able to elevate and move to the next level in our businesses and in our life without things holding us back. So, quick question. Have you ever, wanted something so bad and you feel like every year after year of waiting on that thing is not happening? Maybe it's a desire of being a mom or even expanding your family. Or have you ever experienced loss? Like you had gotten pregnant, you are excited, you have picked up a name, you are super overjoyed, you have even started thinking about all the colors of the room, all those amazing things that comes with, having a baby or being pregnant, and then all of a sudden you lose it. So if that's you are going through that journey or you're in the process, I am inviting you on this episode. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's be real and raw about those things that, one way or another, they're affecting us as women. So pull up a chair and let's talk about it. So, welcome back to Great Boss Podcast, where we strive to inspire, to equip, and to educate you in all aspects of life and business so that we can be able to go to the next level. And today, as I mentioned on the previous episode, is that we are going to be talking about these little conversations, and I'm going to be sharing my stories, my experiences, and in my hope that somebody out there, you are watching this episode, and however it gets to you, make sure that some way it has inspired you, some way it has helped you, or have made you go one step ahead of what is it that you are trying to achieve. And today, I'm going to be sharing my story to motherhood, all the things that I have experienced, that has, the last couple of years have been up and down, things that you never think of, that they're gonna happen, but they do happen. So if you are watching this episode, make sure, number one, that you subscribe, because if you subscribe to this channel, you are helping me reach more audience with my content, and inspiring me to create more content and come here excited and empowered as I am inspiring you. But also, the most important thing is that you share this story with somebody that you know that are struggling with either infertility, or they are going through miscarriage, or they've been trying. There are so many things that, by the time you are getting pregnant or even carrying a pregnancy to term, that we go through. And so I want to share my story. So make sure that if you have somebody who is going through this stuff, or you think they need to watch this, go ahead and do me that favor. So from the beginning, let's start from the beginning. So again, I mentioned I came in this country, a few years back, maybe a decade ago. And as a woman, you're excited about coming into this country, and you just pursue goals, you just focus more on your career. And then lo and behold, I fell in love. And I remember the first years of me meeting my husband, we were not even planning on having kids, right? So it just happened, and our first son, Jeremy, was born. I didn't struggle getting pregnant with Jeremy. It was something like, hey, it happened. We had talked about kids, but the way the planning that I have done in my other pregnancies with Jeremy, I did not have any struggle. And so I got pregnant at 28 years with Jeremy, and I had already established a career in IT. I was at the peak of my career, and I thought, hey, now that I have had my first child, it only makes sense to get pregnant right away or immediately after Jeremy so that I can raise them together. I thought, oh my God, it's gonna be a bliss because because with Jeremy it had already happened as a bliss. But I remember, my with Jeremy, I had a C-section, right? So the doctor will tell you, take your time, and then you can try later. And so I went on birth control. They gave me at the time, I think it's Milena, or a version of Milena, and I took it and I put it, and I remember it took about 6 months. I think it's the seventh month I decided, oh, I'm gonna take it out, and then because we are getting into a whole year, that as the doctor had told me to wait in the next, now that it's the seventh or eighth month, I believe one of them, that I have that time to prepare, to get ready. By the time 12 months are over, I'll be ready for another baby. So I took out the Milena, and let me tell you, that's where my journey of infertility started. Because scientifically, if you go, I believe it's 6 to 12 months. I remember talking to my OBGYN. If you are past 6 to 12 months of trying to get pregnant and you're not pregnant, that is in itself is infertility, right? And there are various types of infertility. There is secondary infertility, and that's what I suffered with. Because secondary infertility, what it means is, you already had a pregnancy before. You are pregnant, but now when you're trying to get another baby, you're not able to get pregnant. So that year, 2018 through 2019, we tried, nothing was happening. We went to 2020, again, there was COVID, there was nothing that was happening. You would think, you guys are home, you get pregnant very quickly. It did not happen. And now my frustration started picking up as I feeling like, is it something wrong with me? Is it my husband? Especially, let me tell you, the first human default is to blame the other person. I remember even telling my husband, I think now it's a time we go, we can go and see the doctor. They need to evaluate you as well. My husband is somebody who is hopeful, so he reminded telling me, but only God who can give you children. We cannot force it. We just have to keep waiting and keep trying. And so we went through until 2020, and then as we were getting into I think as we're getting into 20, because I was pregnant in 2022 and 2023. I believe in 2020, as we are finishing the 2020 December. Yeah, actually it's in December 2020. So back up a little bit. So in September of 2020, when you're going through these things, you do research. Like, I don't know if you are that person who goes on a rabbit hole that you are digging information. But at that time, let me tell you, there's one thing that God has been teaching me, and it's that God is not a God of mistakes. That anything that is coming to your life, anything that is happening to your life, you may see it as this thing that is coming your way or by coincidence. No, God is not a God of coincidences. He has a very particular plan, and he is going to even put people, resources on your path that you are not familiar with. And so when I was in the process of knowing what secondary infertility is and researching, trust me, I have even thought about going to IVF, thinking about, but I was very curious. What's IVF? Does it entails? And knowing my background, I'm somebody who love health and wellness. So I love to dig deeper. I love the anatomy of our body, how it works. Why do we get miscarriages? Why do we get infertility? And I started researching these things. And let me tell you, at that time in September, I believe it's August, I had started in a company with a health and wellness that was focusing on there's a product, they call it spirulina. I don't know if you're familiar. If you're not familiar with spirulina, I'm going to put resources down here for you guys, because at that time, I was excited about spirulina, but the key thing that I was excited about, actually the reason I partnered with that company was because they had products for people who love to work out. There is a product that they had, but it was, it's naturally produced. They have a controlled environment where they produce this product. So for me, I am how can I put it? I am a health geek. I'm a fitness junkie. I want to know. I'm very curious. And so at that time of my season, when I was going through infertility, I was very curious to know this IVF, like somebody who have been struggling with the infertility for so long, and then all of a sudden they go through IVF and they get pregnant. What is it? What is the biology behind it? And lo and behold, it's something that's in your body. And I don't know, I don't want to go deeper into the biology of what happens in our body, but there is a particular thing that happens in our body that causes infertility, right? As you are aging, let me explain it in a very lame way of people that you can understand. As you are aging, right, we get something. Our body cells are also aging. Don't think that when your skin is becoming what can you say, that your skin is becoming all ragged and all clinky and all that stuff, that your inside cells are not happening. They are happening, all right? In that process, we call it oxidation stress, okay? And the key thing and the unfortunate thing is that the oxidation stress, as you are aging, it's elevated in a woman's body reproductive system, right? So unfortunately, it can happen at any particular age. Especially after 25, and you are going up, your oxidation stress in your reproductive system is activated. So you may be asking, why are other women not suffering with the same? No, oxidation stress is in anybody. Everybody experiences oxidation stress, because oxidation stress is basically oxidation stress is basically the processes inside of your body. They come into contact with the oxygen. Like let's say breakdown of your food, it requires some energy. That energy, when they click in, there's some radical cells that are released. We call them free radicals, right? And I don't want to talk into science. I'm trying not to go to science. But, once they are released, they go into your body. And over time, you accumulate this oxidation stress. So imagine that oxidation stress, those free radicals happening around your cells. Your ovum, like your reproductive organs, they have been surrounded with this oxidation stress. So you are going to be trying all the time, trying to get pregnant, but your cells are not healthy. They are not, they have been, how can I say, they have been damaged, right? So what IVF they do in those 6 months, they introduce some type of protein, right? They introduce a particular, and it's a specific trait that is found. It can be found in different, mostly it's in natural products. So you may be thinking, oh, where is this all going? So in that time, I had, as I said, I joined a company. We partnered with a company in Europe. It's not actually in US, it's in Europe. So this company had that one product that had that specific trait. And I'm gonna how can I put it? I'm gonna attach the video here. I did that video right when I got pregnant, my first time. I'm gonna put that video here. I did that video. Watch it, please watch it, okay? And so I was taking this product, but for me, that particular ingredient in that product is called psychocyanin. So for me, when I was taking that product, I was taking it for me because I work out, right? It helps athletes with healing. Again, oxidation stress happen where you are breaking muscles. When you are working out, when you are breaking muscles, it's a process. And oxidation stress is it happen, but it doesn't happen so much, right? So this psychocyanin, right, it helps people who are athletes in healing, getting very quickly. Actually, in Europe, it's #1 product they use to help people heal. And so for me, I was taking it for that. But then one time, oh my God, I thank you, Jesus, for your connection. Because one time I was looking closely at that product, right? And when I was looking at that product, you remember, I was researching, right? I started my research about infertility long back, before I even started this product, right? So I was researching, I was reading on it, taking notes. So that word psychocyanin came that in the ingredients that I had never, have never even thought it. I don't even have that product right now. Like, I could go get it and show you. But again, go watch that video that I'm going to attach here. So, oh my God, I was, so you are telling me that this product does help with oxidation stress, and infertility can be healed if you heal your oxidation stress. If you start healing your body from the inside with oxidation stress, you are telling me that I can reverse my infertility. Is that what you're telling me? And from there I believed that this is going to heal me. So I I had started that product on August. Okay, August. And guys, pay attention, because this is a process. So, I started the product in August. I think it was around August 15 of 2020. So I started taking it religiously. I was taking it every single day. So I took it on August, I took it in September, and I took it in October. Actually, October and November. I believe it was in November. So in November, that's when I found I'm pregnant. After how many years of waiting? We had waited for 3 years, waiting for 3 years to get pregnant. It happened very, very quickly. 3 months down, 3 months. Now, I was so excited. I was super, super, super excited. Oh my God. And I remember even surprising my husband, God, we have waited for this. It has happened. But then December 28, December 28th, the unthinkable happened. Yeah, we did miscarriage. It was the most painful thing that you could ever go through, especially after waiting. You have waited, and yeah, it happened. And I remember saying, my God, what's this? But I thank God, because God always comes through. He'll give you strength. Because I remember that 1 week, once you get a miscarriage, that 1 week I was so down. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get out. I didn't want to do anything. But then I remember telling myself that, everything happened for a reason. And you cannot sit here and feel sorry for yourself forever. Yeah, it's okay. You can live in your feelings and feel through those feelings. But what can you do? What is in your control, right? And again, and I thank God for the spirit of God gives me that spirit of asking the right question. I have come to know, and this is Tony Robinson said once that the quality of your life depends on the quality of questions you are asking. Like, what kind of question do you ask yourself? And so I remember asking myself that day that, what can you do? And I remember, now quickly, I remembered, what did I do to figure out about infertility, secondary infertility, what goes through with IVF? Because you just go to the doctor, and the doctor, if you don't question, they just give you stuff. So for me, I do research. And actually, one of my friends, she, she usually jokes about this, that if you, Nelly, before Nelly does everything, she will do research. So even when I'm doing something, even when I'm doing something, she usually asks me if I have done research. So I went back to research about miscarriages. Why miscarriages? Why do they happen, right? And I got excited again. And I think God was preparing me for this right moment here to come and share with you guys, because even in the Bible it says our people get lost because of lack of knowledge, not lack of ignorance, it's lack of knowledge, right? And so I got curious now. I was like, what can I do? What can I learn about miscarriages, right? And number one, I learned again about miscarriages, that even when you clear even when if your ovum is not healthy enough to carry a term, like it's not healthy, your body recognizes it as a foreign object inside of your body, and it will start fighting, right? It will start fighting that foreign object. Okay, so miscarriages is not anything to do with what you did. Sometimes you question yourself. I remember even questioning myself: is it because I work out so hard, or is it something I ate? Is it something is it the way I slept? All those crazy things that comes in your mind. No, miscarriage is caused by your ovum. Like, your ovum is not, it could be your ovum, it could be the sperm that comes in that is not healthy, right? And if it's not healthy, your body will recognize it as a foreign object, and it will start fighting. Like, just similarly, there is this, what do we call them? The way your body, there is autoimmune. People who have autoimmune diseases, what does it do? The body start fighting itself, because it's fighting these things are foreign, they are called foreign agents inside of your body. And that's what happened even with miscarriages. So what do you do, right? What do you do to prevent miscarriages from happening? Number one is, you as a person, take control of getting ready to be pregnant. Don't just get pregnant. And I think that's what we focus on. Like, for me, I was focusing so much on getting pregnant that I forgot on how to get my body ready. Is it nutrition? Is it your supplementation? Is it you even healing that body very well with oxidation stress, right? Is it taking your blood work, making sure that you are up to optimal performance to carry a healthy pregnancy, a healthy ovum, all right? So I remember I got excited again, I got hopeful, and we didn't try. Like, we didn't try to get pregnant for, I remember I told my husband on my birthday, now next year of 2021, right? Next year of 2021, August, that's when I remember telling my husband, I'm ready. And he was like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm ready to try again. Right now, I had done everything, right? I was intentionally clearing my oxidation stress. I was taking the product, it's called psychocyanin. I was taking psychocyanin every single day, right? So again, I started taking the product in August, September. I didn't finish October. I got pregnant in October. So that time I was focusing on my nutrition, focusing on working out. Like, I was working out. At no point I never stopped working out, because I knew, if when your body, your weight is good, your stress levels are all rolled down, you have a higher chance of developing that healthy ovums, right? So I got pregnant. And I carried the baby. Isaac was born the following year on June 2020 what 2022. So all I'm saying is it's a process, right? And I remember at that moment I didn't have hope, but I knew that the reason that you have to go through these things, you have to go through this stuff so that you can learn things and you can help other people step into their miracle as well. And so I remember questioning myself, like, should I even share this, right? Should I even tell people that this is real? Like, I don't have a science degree. I'm not a I'm not an infertility person to talk about it, but this is my story. This happened to me, right? I know this is the process I followed. And so again, I wanted to have my children back and forth. Again, you see the weight I had with the weight I had with Jeremy. It was not. I know there are people who have opt to space your kids out like that, but that was not that was not my desire. Honestly, if I wanted my children to be, the way you are doing your family planning, I wanted them to be 2 years apart, 1 year apart, but it took that long. So when Isaac was born, I was like, now I wanna, you have your goal. My goal is to have my children and finish that journey. Again, I'm a C-section person, so I need to, finish up and start my body healing, putting my body back together. And so actually, I believe it was December. So Isaac was born on June 28 of 2022, and December I had decided in my mind, my body now has started healing, I feel better. Now I can start the process all over again, right? All over again. So I remember I got my product. Again, this product, I take it, number one, because it helps me with my workout. It heals me, it helps me heal my oxidation stress. And let me tell you guys, I know this is a question that's going to come up in your mind. How can you tell with your oxidation stress? So do this one thing. Go have your doctor do your blood work. Like, do your blood work and ask them to tell you let them tell you how your markers look like. That is your inflammation. How does your blood look like? Because even when your oxidation stress, when you have high level oxidation stress, your blood is thicker. It's thick red, meaning it's like deoxygenated. That's how it looks like. But when you start healing and you take your path of reversing that oxidation stress, it will clear. It will be very, very clean. So that's if you want to know that you have high levels of oxidation stress, do that. Have them do that. Just the simplest test. Before you do your oxidation stress and after you do oxidation stress. And here's the thing, I'm not saying my product is the best. Actually, I don't even have that. I don't work for that company anymore. So here, I'm not promoting anything, all right? I'm not promoting anything. But there are other ways of reducing your oxidation stress. This is by taking antioxidants. But not all antioxidants are created equally. So you need to know, which is the best antioxidant. And as I started this video, I talked about spirulina. So you do your research. I'm gonna drop my resources here. So if you wanna check out this, because you want spirulina, here is a caveat with spirulina. Spirulina are those foods that spirulina, the green algae that grows down there in the rivers, in the swamps, right? That thing that is very high rich in oxidation, high rich in antioxidants, right? But there are places where it grows, and it grows next to lead metal, right? So you have to be very careful the spirulina that you are getting. And the reason I highly recommend the product I took in Europe is because they grow it inside like a room that is controlled, so it will never get to the metal. So how do they call it? We used to call it something in agriculture back in high school. I don't remember, vertical farming, or where you farm inside of a room in a building, something. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you can use antioxidants, high level of antioxidants that they are going to bring your oxidation stress down. Low. And while you are doing that, make sure you are taking care of your body, right? So I started with my third child. Yes, I started taking the same. I started taking the product. I started taking the product in March. Actually, I started taking March, April, and in May I got pregnant. So those are like 90 days of clearing my oxidation stress in my body. Again, and I'm gonna keep insisting on this main topic here. As a woman, go do your research. In your womb, in your uterus, in your our reproductive system is highest. There's so much processes that goes there. Imagine your monthly cycle. Imagine all the things that happen there every single month. Those are processes that produces oxidation stress, that produces free radicals. So inside of your womb, so many things are happening there, and it's high vulnerable of oxidation stress. So this is something that even while you're even if you're not trying to get pregnant, it's very important to do. Make sure that you keep your oxidation level stress low. All right, guys, this topic or this thing was eye-opening for me. Like, I'm even scared to say that this helped me, but for me, I truly believe that. And again, there is this thing that guys remember, and I keep asking when I sit down and I'm listening to God and I'm talking to God, I usually ask him question. There's no way they would have produced. There's no way diseases would have happened without healing. God must be providing healing, but it's for us as women or as a human to discover those healing. And there's nothing greater healing than the things that come from the plants. If there's one thing that God gave us to heal our body, is the plants. And then that one thing is called, for me, if you are trying to reduce infertility, and this is this thing I'm continuing to do research, because I know there are so many people who are out there who are struggling. This is something that's going to help people. Oxidation stress is connected to endometriosis, POS, PCOS, fibroids. So these are things that you can start, you yourself focus on. Take one thing. If it's a fibroid that you are struggling with, start looking, how can I heal oxidation stress? Because again, there's oxidation stress and there is chronic inflammation, right? These are things that are burning. It's like burning your cells. Think about, a good example of oxidation stress is, have you ever left a metal outside, right? You leave metal outside overnight and you come the following day. What does it have? You usually have things that are covered in it, like rust, right? That's how oxidation stress happen. When those free radicals are released by the processes that are happening inside of our body, right? So those things, when they fall on your cells like that. Imagine the healthy cells, and these free radicals are falling around it. They are damaging agents, right? So you have to be clear. You have to be actively clearing it, from the inside out, healing your body from the outside out. So for me, that has been my journey, right? Going from infertility, waiting for 3 years, getting a miscarriage, and getting pregnant 2 pregnancies later. So is it possible to go from infertility to getting pregnant? 100%. I'm a testimony. It's true. Again, this, I'm not saying it's the answer. This is my experience, and I'm hoping you are going to become an educated consumer, become an educated person, advocate for yourself, ask these questions, before going, spending this money. And I talked about, why IVF. I'm going to link a link here that IVF, they use that cyclosanin. But again, we are living in a world where people are about to make money. So IVF, would people Would it make sense for them to release that specific product? You can find it in a product that is costing 60, or would they will they keep that information so they can charge you 60, 50, 70K for the same? Again, this is a money-making industry. Yeah, so become an educated consumer. Before you go spend that money, ask yourself, what else can I do? What else is out there that I can try that is safe and legal, right? Those are the kind of the things that we can start. I said, I have pregnancy. I have pregnancy brain right about now, so I'm forgetting things. So anyway, we are 35 minutes in, but I thought this is the right time to share this message. I want you as well share this with somebody who, somebody who is trying to get pregnant, somebody who have lost hope, somebody who have tried many years. Okay, somebody who have tried many years. I have also created a very free video series on the step that I took. I'm going to leave it here. Okay, so go ahead and take those steps. Try it. I mean, what you gonna lose anyway? What you gonna lose anyway? Take those steps, right? Number one, if you are trying to get pregnant, don't get pregnant and just get pregnant. Start by healing your body. I have steps that I have included there to help you heal your body. Once you start healing your body, what is the next thing? What does your nutrition look like? What all those amazing things? Because they all have to. It's a holistic approach. You want to heal your whole body and bring that healthy ovum to life. All right, so make sure you share, subscribe, make sure you leave your notification on so you can get all the awesome content that is coming your way. Again, this is Nelly Swagogo, your host on this great podcast where we strive to inspire, equip, and educate you, and equip you with tools that are going to help you go to the next level in life and business. See you next episode.